Thousands of strangers have listened to real conversations recorded inside people's living rooms, arguments, medical details, even what sounded like a crime in progress. They weren't hackers. They were Amazon employees. And for years, it was simply how Alexa worked. Here's exactly how. Simply explained. Start with what your Echo speaker actually does all day. It isn't recording everything you say, but it is always listening for one specific word. Its wake word, usually Alexa. The moment it thinks it hears that word, it starts recording and sends the clip to Amazon servers to figure out what you're asking for. The problem is, thinks it hears is doing a lot of work in that sentence. Devices have mistaken ordinary conversation for the wake word, a word that just sounds close enough and started. Recording moments nobody ever meant to send anywhere. In April 2019, Bloomberg revealed where a portion of those recordings actually end up. Amazon employed thousands of people, contractors, and full-time staff working in offices in Boston, Costa Rica, India, and Romania whose job was to listen to real Alexa clips, by hand, all day long. Each reviewer processed up to 1,000 audio clips in a single shift. Amazon's stated reason was reasonable on its face. Humans checking real recordings helps the system understand accents, background noise, and unusual phrasing better than software alone. But here's what made it different from an anonymous research sample. According to Bloomberg's reporting, the clips these workers heard were tied to an account number, a device serial number, and the user's first name. And a follow-up report a few weeks later found that some reviewers could go a step further and access location data connected to a recording enough, potentially, to place a real address behind a real voice. Amazon's own privacy settings offered an option to stop your recordings from being used to help develop new features. Sounds like an opt-out, it wasn't a full one. Bloomberg reported that Amazon confirmed people who opted out could still have their recordings analyzed by hand. As part of the regular review process the company ran regardless. And because the wake word can trigger by accident, the reviewers didn't only hear people asking about the weather. Workers described hearing everything from a person singing badly in the shower to what one worker believed might have been a sexual assault. When that happened, they were reportedly told it wasn't their job to intervene, only to keep transcribing. None of this was clearly explained to Echo owners. Amazon's public materials described using voice request to train speech recognition systems. They did not say, in plain language, that real people around the world were listening to real households. The story didn't end in 2019. In 2023, regulators caught up the FTC and the Department of Justice fined Amazon $25 million, primarily over how the company handled children's voice recordings, including keeping data far longer than it should have. It landed as part of a broader reckoning over how Alexa handled voice data in general, years after the original human review program had already reshaped what people assumed a smart speaker was quietly doing. So here's the uncomfortable version of what a smart speaker actually is. It's not a person in your home. But for years, a small, unpredictable chance existed that a real one was listening on the other end anyway, tied to your name, your device, and sometimes your location, without you ever being told in plain terms. You can reduce this today. In the Alexa app, you can turn off Help Improve Amazon Services with your voice recordings, set your recordings to auto-delete after a fixed number of days instead of storing them indefinitely, and use the microphone mute button on the device itself whenever you don't want it listening for its wake word at all. None of that makes the device silent, but it puts real limits on who or what gets to hear you next. And if a device sitting quietly in your living room can end up telling a stranger this much about you, your browser has been doing something just as quiet for just as long. That story is on your screen right now.